My little boy is quite like me in some respects, 'tis plain to see. He loves to lay quite late in bed, the lazy little sleepy head. And when he finally does arise, he stands around and rubs his eyes until it's late and he's distressed, and Daddy helps him to get dressed. And then comes breakfast. Oh, my dear, there's nothing he will like, I fear. Bacon, eggs, toast, butter, jelly, but they don't suit his little belly. And then I try to figure out what he would like without a doubt. Something hot, nutritious, good, really a good breakfast food. He tilts his stool, turns up his nose at all the things that I propose. While I my temper try to hold, he eats dry cereal, always cold. Guess he'll grow up a little later and learn to eat the sweet potato and all the other things he should. He'll finally learn that they are good. But right now he's still a boy, and his time he does employ with guns and toys and funny book, playing checkers, author's rook. Funny how this little skunk can't keep track of all his junk, leaves it laying round the place till it looks like a disgrace. Coat and cap and funny book, pajamas never on their hook, bed shoes on the bathroom floor, should be inside the closet door. At his desk, just take a look, holds everything from gun to book. Just take a look, but stand aside, lest you touch off a great landslide. But once, just every now and then, my patience growing very thin, I shout at him, "Pick up this mess." How it all got there he can't guess. When he wants something of his own, he looks about and gives a groan. To find his things takes time and knack, like hunting needle in haystack. As he starts off to school some morn, "Where is my book?" you hear him storm. We rush around, ransack the place, just one thing sure, it's within space. It may be on the kitchen floor, or else behind the bathroom door. It could be lying on the couch, not on his desk, for that I'd vouch. Because to find his things, you see, you do not look where they should be, but somewhere they're lying about, maybe indoors, maybe out. Sometimes this child is so provoking, my temper almost has me choking. But then again, when he's so sweet, being mother's quite a treat. I never can quite figure out why, when he talks, he has to shout. A stone-deaf man, if he should please, could hear this shouting boy with ease. Sometimes I plan to buy earmuffs, and then I grab him by the cuffs. "Turn down your volume," I implore. His voice fills house from top to floor. He takes no pride in his appearance, considers washing interference with more important things he's doing, if nothing more than gum he's chewing. He hates to go to bed at night. Against bedtime he has a fight, until I finally tuck him in and pull the cover to his chin. If you should want to raise his ire, just say haircut and watch his fire. Why God should let his hair keep growing is something he'd like to be knowing. Big questions bother this boy's mind. The answers he should like to find. God made all else, but who made God? I smile at him and merely nod. His questions are too big for me. I gently lift him to my knee and tell him there are many things that even mommies can't explain. One night as he was going to bed, "Wish I could worship God," he said. Discussing more, he told me how he'd like to worship by burning cow. Somehow, this little son of mine can let his little spirit shine until it chases gloom away and brightens things all through the day. He yells at me in his own way, "Why, hello there, hello, Mumsy," and by his shining little face, I'm sure his heart is in its place. I truly thank my God above for a little heart so full of love. Oft time it seems just brimming over with joy of life and love of mother. I'm sure that he will grow to be a Christian personality. The world will be a better place for having had his unique grace. This is Levon at age 8 by his mother.
You wrote it when I was 8.
Right. About you at age 8. It still sounds like you at 38. It still sounds like you at 38, doesn't it? Oh, I'm still on. I forgot forgot.
candid camera. So what do you attribute your penmanship over the years in terms of little compositions of that nature?
Oh, I still do.
Mm-hmm.
I do it for senior citizens for one thing.
Do you?
Yeah, I have quite a collection, and I used one a couple weeks ago at senior citizens, but they're too long to read here.
Mm-hmm.
Anywhere from, well, some of them are 8 to 10 minutes, most of them 15 to 20.
On all kinds of topics.
Yes, the last one I used was on women's fashions, the trend through our lifetime, everywhere from long skirts to mini skirts, and the crazy trends in women's fashions from pointed toes and high heels, and the fact that women have to discard all this and go out and buy new, and written in the proper way, you know. And then
When did you write it?
This one was rather recent,
Was
about
recent.
18 months ago.
I see.
And after going through all that, and the styles going up and down, and the waist here and yonder, and the necks, and the dress tails, and then I ended it up by saying, some style which went out this year, absolutely out, it was no longer in, and then all the women had to go out and buy new clothes, looked in their closet, opened the closet door, and exclaimed they had nothing to wear. All the women had to go out and buy new clothes. Yeah, I have written off and on all my life.
But you never forced yourself to write on any kind of schedule. It was just a matter of whenever there was.
It's just a natural phenomenon with her.
When the subject.
Come in my head.
But would the subject come in your head before you decided to write, or would you sit down to write one day?
I never try to think of something to write. It's just when your life and your experiences come to a place where you feel, well, you know, you've got this thing sort of figured out, you ought to write it down.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't.
So it's just a matter of putting on paper something that's already there.
Right. It pesters in my brain.
Yeah.
And slams around in my brain till it's got to get on paper.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them I have recorded. I've got several tapes of recordings, but I have used most of them at one time or another for senior citizens or something like that.
I think writers are real different that way, though. Some writers do sort of write.
Professional, they have their hours set.
Some of them do.
Right. So many hours a day, and they get down and they sledge it out, you know, force it. But I don't, my writing is merely for fun.
Yeah, sure.
And when I feel an experience or something which needs to be put down on paper is all.
And you probably do it much more in certain periods and then maybe go a long period without.
Sure. Kim has always enjoyed this book tremendously. Sometimes she was a little girl. Well, read about Daddy. Read about Daddy.
She likes stories from when I was little.
When she's over here, so much of the time she said, "Now tell about when my daddy was little." And she's read this whole thing, I think, and some of it a couple of times. Here's a cute one. In Bible school, Mrs. Heck wanted to tell the beginners a story. Vonnie, Levon, was busy, and she had some trouble getting his attention. She told him that if he'd sit down, she'd tell him a story. To which he replied, "Oh, I don't think it would be any good anyway."
What a negative attitude.
Cute one, September 1955. Levon was very disgusted with the stew I'd made for supper. "If this is the kind of stew Jacob cooked," he commented, "Esau really got gypped."
That was about the time I was playing Little League Baseball.
December 27th, 1955. Levon, "Mother, I'm growing up. Do you know how I can tell?" Mother, "No, how do you know?" Levon, "This Christmas I thought a lot less about what I was going to get and more about what I was going to give to other people." That really is a good sign you're growing up. Mm.
Let me just pan around on some of your work over here.
Open
Have
the
you done-
doors if you want.
Have you done any stonework lately?
No, I've had trouble in my back to discourage me from sitting still and working like that bothers my back.
Mm-hmm.
And I painted in the fall some work to sell for Christmas and so forth, but I haven't
Mhm.
really done anything recently. I'm better off moving around than I am sitting still a lot.
Mm-hmm. Do you still have any of your things for sale down at the park?
They still have some down there.
Mm-hmm.
This is the smallest thing I've ever made
Mm-hmm.
in the stone. The smallest people I've ever made.
Mm-hmm.
That has 19 separate stones in it.
The little one does.
That arrangement has 19 separate stones in it. Just little stones put together,
Mm-hmm.
just as I find them, to create the shape I want.
Mm-hmm.
And most of these stones, pretty ones like that, come out of Lake Erie.
That's where the big bulk of your stones have
Yes.
come from, isn't it?
Yes. Once I got to Lake Erie and saw the Lake Erie stones, it was hard to get enthused about anything else.
It's hard to get much of a shot of the room here because the light is so uneven.